They say legacy is for the rich, the famous, the ones with buildings named after them. But what if I told you the greatest legacies are built in quiet rooms, with small gestures, and hearts that give, even when no one is watching? This is Golden Truths, and today, we're not here to chase fortune or applause. We're here to talk about the kind of legacy that doesn't need money, or fame, or recognition. The kind of legacy that whispers through generations, in values, in memories, in kindness. It's the legacy that outlives you, without ever needing your name etched in stone. And here's the truth. You already have what it takes to build that kind of legacy. You just need to look in the right places. Because the most powerful legacy is not about what you leave behind. It's about what you leave within. Let's start with where most of us go wrong, and why everything we've been taught about legacy might be upside down. When we hear the word legacy, what comes to mind? Presidents, founders, celebrities, people with wealth and power. We imagine plaques on buildings, biographies on shelves, donations that buy wings in hospitals. But here's the reality. Most of us can't even name our great-great-grandparents. Yet, somewhere deep in us, their strength, or their trauma, or their laughter still lives on. My friend Mark once told me, "My grandfather died before I was born. But every time I fix something with my hands, I hear my dad say, 'That's how your grandfather did it.'" He never met the man, but his hands did. His heart did. Legacy isn't about being remembered. It's about being felt. And if being felt is the true measure of a legacy, then the real power lies in the people who are simply present. If you love our content so far, please do like and subscribe. Your actions will push us to create more stories like these, and we will strive to reach more people and change their outlook in life. We chase status, we chase goals, we try to impress, to fix, to do. But sometimes, what people need most is for you to just be. I'll never forget a man I met at a hospice where I volunteered. He was quiet, never had much to say. But every afternoon, he'd sit by the bedside of his wife. She had late-stage dementia. She didn't recognize him anymore, didn't speak, didn't respond. Still, he showed up, same time, every day, held her hand, hummed her favorite songs, watched the light move across the wall together, never missed a single visit, not one. I asked him once, "How do you keep doing this? When she doesn't even know you're here?" He smiled, eyes soft, and said, "She was there for me when I needed someone. Now it's my turn. She may not know, but I do." That hit me hard, because that is legacy, not in words, not in wealth, but in presence. You don't have to change the world. Sometimes just showing up consistently, quietly, without expecting anything in return is the change. That's how you build invisible monuments in people's hearts. That simple act of being present often outlives every achievement you've ever chased. But what about the things you leave behind? Not material things. I mean the kind that echo when you're gone. You don't need to change the world. You just need to change someone's day. Let's talk about that next. Her name was Nita. She wasn't famous. She never owned a house or traveled far. But everyone in our neighborhood knew who she was. Single mom with 3 kids. She worked at a small canteen and a small convenience store. She would spend the whole morning cooking and her afternoon spent looking after the store. She goes to rest late at night, yet she manages to wake up early the next day to go to the market. That was how her regular day looks like, 7 days a week. She was religious, and even with barely enough for herself, she made sure that everyone had enough. She faces financial obstacles almost always, but she always had that contagious smile, always there when you had problems of your own. She treats everyone equally. She never runs out of advice and always ready to help without expecting anything in return. After she passed, people gathered old friends, families, and former neighbors, strangers who remembered her warmth. Their stories poured in like rain. She helped me when I had nothing. I raised my kids like how she did hers. She made me feel like I belonged. Nita didn't leave behind riches. She left behind reminders. That kindness is a legacy all its own. And that brings us to a question worth asking. How do we build that kind of legacy? In the middle of our everyday lives. Legacy isn't made in one grand act. It's made in 1,000 little ones. It's saying, "I'm proud of you" to your child. It's calling your parents just to listen. It's owning your mistakes and showing others how to grow through theirs. It's that one teacher who told you, "You're more than your grades." That tricycle driver who made you laugh when you were late and stressed. That friend who didn't try to fix you. They just stayed. Quiet. Present. It's in the apology that healed a wound. In the letter that said, "Thank you." In the moment you chose understanding over judgment. Small choices. Big echoes. That's how legacy is built. But what happens to those echoes after we're gone? Let's talk about the ripples you may never see, but that keep moving long after your name is forgotten. Every act of love, every moment of patience, every seed of encouragement you plant does not die with you. It multiplies. The child you were kind to might become a parent who raises with gentleness. The friend you forgave might learn to forgive themselves. The stranger you helped might one day help someone else. Not knowing why, only remembering how it felt to be seen. There's an old saying, we all die twice. Once when our heart stops beating, and once when our name is spoken for the last time. But I believe there's a third kind of life, a legacy life, where your values live on through others, whether they remember your name or not. Because the best legacy is not having people remember you, it's having people live better because of you. So if you're listening to this, wondering if you've done enough, or if you're leaving anything behind, just remember, you don't need to be famous. You don't need to be wealthy. You just need to be real, kind, present. Be the person whose absence is felt not because of what they owned, but because of how they loved. That is the golden truth. Live simply, love deeply, leave gently,